We're on the outskirts of Athens, Georgia.
Tay Ratledge. My name's Chad Lindbergh.
We are not contributing to the delinquency of minors. My thinking coming into this was they would love Buffalo Trace stuff, and then we would try to find some alternatives. How fast are you fellas? We are in Athens, Georgia.
Tread lightly.
We're on the outskirts of Athens, Georgia. I know y'all like specificity. Big words for y'all this morning. We had someone interesting reach out. When we have interesting folks reach out, even if they're Georgia Bulldogs, we try to say yes. If we hadn't been to Athens, we wanted to check out the scene here. We've had a lot of liquor stores in and around Athens actually recommended to us. So we felt like we would come over, especially when we've got somebody to go hunting with. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check their ID, okay? And then we're gonna learn a little bit more about their palates, what they're into, their bourbon journey thus far. And then 3, we're gonna go see if we could find some whiskey. And while we're going along, y'all know I happen to cheer for a rival football team. Would probably put the hard press on. So there may be a GoFundMe in the description for some NIL money or something. I don't know what the rules are. At this point, honestly, if we buy them whiskey, are they going to be ruled ineligible? I hope so. I hope that's where we go with this. These days, the NCAA doesn't seem to carry a lot of weight, so we might not be able to go that route, but maybe the recruiting pitch will work. If you would, just introduce yourself.
I'm Tay Ratledge. I'm a senior here, play offensive line.
So you're starting offensive lineman?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty good.
I hope so. Hope people think I am.
You hope
Maybe
people
not against Auburn, I wasn't.
Well, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Can we get that one more time?
Not against Auburn, I was not. But hey, we got the win. That's all that matters.
It is unfortunately all that matters. So tell me, what kind of whiskey are you into?
I like the Buffalo Trace. Anything out of Buffalo Trace, really. Me and him did a blind of 100 proof to 90 proof area. Buffalo Trace won it for both of us. Weller Special Reserve was in the top 3. I didn't like Old Granddad 114. Garrison Brothers Single Barrel.
That Texas whiskey's serious, isn't it?
And he's from Texas, so he didn't like it either. So I guess that speaks on it.
My name's Chad Lindbergh. I'm a senior offensive lineman as well. Yeah, I like a lot of the similar stuff. I like a Maker's 46 cash strength. That 1792 bottled and bond store pick is really good.
He starts. Do you start?
Field goal and punt.
You start on field goal and punt. Are y'all the offensive line? Are y'all the same position?
I play more tackle.
Okay.
So his punt team didn't have a single punt return for a yard all year, or a single punt returned at all.
No punt returns.
If he got hurt, you would play more.
Potentially.
I don't think I could hold him, but I could probably slow him down if you wanted to crack his knee.
We might have to.
Okay. Well, I didn't check your ID. You got your ID? Let me see it. State of Georgia, 2021. These babies. That's what we've got babies here. 2021. But that's legal. All right, we're legal. We're legal people. Okay, we are not contributing to the delinquency of minors at all here. So to start with, we are here at Turtle Beach Wine and Spirits. This was the most recommended store. Every single person I talked to said you got to come to Turtle Beach. And so we are starting our journey here. Maybe all downhill from here. Who knows? Jill's already found the wine selection. Whole bunch of barrel picks, also a good sign. All right, so Knob Creek. Have you had Knob Creek?
I have, just here and there. I haven't had my own bottle of it.
Okay. Now, you didn't like the Old Granddad Jim Beam profile. What did you think of Knob Creek?
I didn't hate it as much as Old Granddad, but I didn't love it as much as I did the Buffalo Trace stuff.
Okay. Woodford Double Oak store pick over here, William. Have you had that one?
I have. I've not had this particular store pick.
But you've had a Woodford Double Oak? Still not?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
I like the double oak.
Short barrel toasted.
Never had it.
Never had it. This is a single barrel Turtle Creek. This is 105 proof short barrel toasted. We've done quite a few short barrel toasteds for our Brewzle club. Those are always a hit. Now they're gonna be sweeter, but they're not like that Buffalo Trace sweet. Looks like they've got all the Weller and stuff up there. If they're up there like that, I hate to ask the question of what they cost.
They raffle them.
So everything here is gonna be raffle?
So every time you buy a store pick theater, you get a raffle.
Now Rebel is going to be a weeder. Okay, so that is...
I think I about bought one of these last time.
You think you had a Rebel?
I about bought one of these. I don't remember having one.
So you don't
That's
remember?
the store pick. Not
The Fiddler, this is the one you like though, the Georgia Heartwood Fiddler?
I have the one from Jay's.
You don't see Architect store picks a lot. I'm starting to see them a little more, but they're kind of rare.
There's a lot of bottles. I remember we watch your videos and you say like you can't find them. Like these are everywhere here.
Yeah.
It's just weird bottles. Like they have all the old elk, every old elk you can think of, I'm pretty sure they have over there.
A lot of these things are regionally distributed. Even like the mainstream stuff that's distributed everywhere, you'll see Buffalo Trace everywhere in some states, and in some states you can't get it. Like Georgia, you could usually find a lot of Eagle Rare. Some states it's impossible to get. Yeah, it's weird. I think the bourbon selection is on the other side over there, unless you guys want my opinion on all sorts of random things I know nothing about. Anything in particular catching your eye here? Let's see what, the Heaven Hill Bonded. Oh, the rye, Jack Daniels. Yeah, those are so good. What was this one? Okay, that's a baby one.
Yeah, we ran across a 136.
This one is pricey, but that's a fantastic rye whiskey there as well. If it's the same, I think it's the same bottle. It's really hard to tell all those blue runs apart, but if that's the same bottle I have at the house, I love it. A124 Larceny. A lot of folks have been loving the C batch on that one.
I haven't seen any C, Larceny or Elijah Craig in Athens.
Really? Any of it.
Usually that red line stuff there is MGP, but they're really good at finishing. So if you liked finished whiskey, and you seem to like the stave finish stuff, because the Georgia Heartwood stave finish, look at there. What did he find?
49.
How many? Just two?
There's two more.
Just go ahead and grab me one while you're at it.
A 175 Sazerac and a Eagle Rare down there. There's 4 more down there.
You want one, Will? Okay, get Will one. These days, I spend a lot of my time planning bourbon hunting trips, working on content related to bourbon, and just generally filling my days thinking about bourbon. Now, I don't always have time to look for the latest product trends. Luckily, I found Bespoke Post, and their subscription boxes take the guesswork out of finding the newest and coolest items. 90% of the products come from small brands, many of which are based right here in the US. It's free to sign up and access their membership priced boxes, and each month you can preview your box, customize it for delivery, or choose to skip that month without charge entirely. You only pay for what you want. When you sign up for a free membership, you'll take a short quiz to determine which of the products will be the best fit for you. Basically, just high quality stuff in every category. Bespoke Post will then craft a box based on those answers, and before you know it, you'll have the most trendy new barware tools, the best smelling cologne, or maybe a miniature indoor fireplace to entertain your friends. They now offer a membership program where you can get really great deals all year round. I'm talking like 30% off or sometimes more. And it's totally free to join, meaning you're getting quality goods from small businesses at the best price possible. And you can see that their quiz actually works, because I got their old-fashioned kit here with their field whiskey guide, a couple of ice ball molds. I even got an ice stamp. Like, I didn't even know an ice stamp was a thing. Bespoke Post is generously giving the B team a free mystery gift when you purchase your first box. To get a free mystery gift with your first membership purchase, click the link in the description and enter Brewzle gift at checkout, or go to bespokepost.com/Brewzle gift. Let's get back to that video.
Eagle for 40.
No, that's no bueno, Jill. I have not tried. I've not tried it. I hear it's awful. The Eagle Rare is good, and it's got an eagle on it too.
What for this
but
one?
it doesn't have like an eagle head
100.
like that.
See, all y'all got to do is this was one of his favorite bottles, and I was like, I hope we find one of those. And then here we go walking in, and it's there for MSRP. Look at the grin on their face right here. Well, this has got fun already. Have you tried the McKenna 10?
I've heard a lot of people talk about it. What's your opinion on Booker's?
I like the Booker stuff, but I don't buy every batch. It's really intense. Now, it's again, Jim Beam, so if you don't like that Jim Beam profile, if you're not just in love with that Jim Beam nuttiness, that is all the things that makes Jim Beam unique amped up. Some of the batches pretty intense. I find it really interesting, but it's just an occasional thing I go to. You want special reserve? What's the cost? 24. Yes, grab us. I don't need one. These gentlemen right here do, though. What are we going to do after Turtle Creek? I told y'all it's going to be downhill from here. We should have saved this to the end, then all these bottles would have been gone. Got the Ben Holidays right there. We love those.
I really like that soft red wheat.
Oh, that's so good. Now, if you get a cask strength, even better, and the single barrel proofs are even better than the cask strengths. Clyde Mays, have you tried that?
Clyde Mays, I have not. I've not grabbed a bottle of that.
It's just apple juice. Like, it's just getting a little apple note to it, sweet. Again, MGP distillate, but it is distilled for Clyde Mays by MGP. Now, I've not had that 110 proof red label right there, but I'd be willing to bet that would be a good bottle. A lot of our viewers love the Kings County. Now, a lot of the stuff I've had from them has been high malt, which I'm not a huge fan of, but Kings County uses small barrels. So this is 7 years old, and from what I was told, they use small barrels, bottled entirely, but they make it all themselves. So it's 7 years old. I probably should buy that. Not for y'all though. What small barrels typically means when something's distilled in small barrels is you get a little more like oak char. Sometimes you'll get like dark fruits like raisins and plums and dates, but you also get a little barrel char. And that barrel char can be like a stay finish sometimes, but usually it's a little darker and more like that Texas whiskey. So I would have to try that bottle to see whether or not I think y'all would like something like that. I mean, I'm just gonna follow y'all. Y'all the one found all the good bottles so far, right?
What do you think about this tin cup?
Honestly, haven't had the tin cup. It's just one of those I haven't had. It's a little bit of a gimmick with the cup on top, but, and I don't know. I just haven't. Nobody's asked me about it enough for me to actually go buy one. Y'all let me know right now in the comments, do you like the tin cup stuff? There's a Caribou. I'm not a huge fan. Now that Remus Repeal, those are usually really good. That's MGP, but that's MGP's brand. So they put some of their best stuff in some of those Remus Repeals. The Caribou is by Buffalo Trace. So that's a Rock Hill Farms bottle with the Blanton style topper. But Canadian whiskey is a different animal. Have y'all had any Canadian whiskey? I mean, even a Crown Royal.
Just Crown.
Oh,
but
You've had a Crown Royal? So
we're still in college.
It's different than that. Yeah, fair. Have you had Crown Royal and not mixed it with anything though?
I want to say
I've had it, but
I don't think I paid attention enough to know to see if I liked it or not.
Yeah. You were drinking for effect. Yeah. Great price if you want to try it, but Canadian whiskey's not for everybody. The one I have at the house, I'm not a huge fan of.
I'll get it. You can try it, and if you don't like it, you can come back and get you one.
These right here.
I've tried the pipe dream.
Okay, the pipe drip cash strength.
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
I loved it.
I loved it too. They've got the regular one. I haven't had the Lost Monarch here, but $72, great price on that bottle as well. Frey Ranch Uncut, so good. Now, the Frey Ranch stuff, again, is going to be kind of grain forward intentionally. Like they make their whiskey to showcase their grains because they are a farm that grows them. And so you gotta, like Buffalo Trace, typically most of that grain impact's gone, right? It's just sweetness. And so you gotta, what you've told me you liked didn't have a ton of grain impact. So you might like that, you might not. But once you get more nerding out about whiskey, you're gonna love Frey.
So it's kind of the point that I'm trying to get to is where I like really understand it and really like can pick those notes out and stuff like that. It's just me and him have both kind of struggled with that because we're kind of on this journey together, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's we try it, see what we can pull out of it. We kind of have different palates.
Well, the most interesting way to get started with that is when you sit down, drink it neat, 2 Glencairns, drink it neat, and always try 2 whiskeys, right? So rather than having 1 pour, have a half a pour of 2 whiskeys, and then just notice the differences, right? And then your palate will start picking up differences. And when you sit down, like really try to savor and understand the flavors and how it hits your palate. And then once you start finding some really interesting notes, figure out how other people define those notes. So read some reviews, and if they say, okay, this tastes like coriander, you're like, okay, well, I see that. Or maybe you just go eat some coriander, I don't know. But you try to start picking out and naming notes, and then you go learn more about that whiskey and how it gets that note, right? And you start figuring out, well, this is a wheated bourbon, so some of those sweet notes are coming from the wheat, right?
When we did that blind, there were some ryes, and there was a rye
we
and
put a rye in the Bernheim wheat
Bernheim.
whiskey.
Okay.
and we were able to pick those out.
Yeah.
So I think we can tell the difference. It's just like what we're tasting.
You're at that stage where you're picking up different notes, but you got to figure out why those notes are there, right? Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Baker 7, $62. I like the price on that. I get Jib Beam though, so if you don't like that beam profile, here you go. Throw it up here. Throw it up here.
Well, since you throwing stuff up here, I like, no.
If you need something, let me know. So as soon as I hand y'all this box, y'all are now NCAA ineligible to play against Auburn. Let me make my pitch here, okay? I'm gonna make my pitch. This is why you should be playing for Auburn this year. We're on a 10-ish year cycle. 1983, Bo Jackson, 11-1, ranked number 3, right? Number 1 and 2 lose. Number 4 jumps us for the national championship. So we almost won one. 1993, okay? I think it was 93, 94. Undefeated. Would have won a national championship, best team in the nation, but we were just a little ahead of our time. We paid some players before it was legal for everybody to pay players except for Alabama.
Everybody did. Joe's got caught.
Right, true. 2004, undefeated. Probably the best team in the nation, right? Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, Jason Campbell. They were just 3 undefeated teams, almost won a national championship. 2013, we go all the way to the national championship game. We lose, with Jameis Winston got us on that one. All right, we did win one off cycle, but that's the Cam Newton effect, right? 2010. This is 10 years. So if you want to have a really special season where you do some really cool things, but you come just short of a national championship, a lot like y'all did last year, then y'all should be playing for Auburn this year. Auburn basketball's the least fun. There's a basketball game tonight. I ask them, they're going, they're like, I don't know. But see, if they were at Auburn, they would be able to go to the basketball game. What's up, man? How you doing? We had to take some photos. Met a few folks that watch the channel. That's always fun to do. So we are going to Liquor Express in Bogart, Georgia, which again, we'll get to Athens. Maybe, hopefully. We are now here at Express Beer, Liquor, Express Wine. I thought it was Express Beer, Liquor, Wine, but it looks like it's Beer, Liquor, Express Wine. I don't know, but they got a drive-through, and you don't see that every day. Drive-through liquor. Let's see what they got on the inside, though. It's Brewzle. TJ.
Tyler.
Nice to meet you, Tyler. Got quite the selection up there.
I wish my boss was here. He's at Temple right now.
Will he negotiate if he was here?
He's got his little bourbon club, and at the end of the year, he'll lower all of these prices.
I got you. So he keeps them like that, and then if somebody wants to pay it, they pay it. But at the end of the year, he rewards his loyal. That's a respectable way to do it. Is this for me? This a gift?
Yep, that's all for you.
Where's our 12? And then 15? And then a 10? And what we getting in there? 20. How fast are you fellas? George T. Stagg, man, those are beautiful things that I'm certain today I can't afford. Anything interesting hiding out here? The Eagle Rare right there again. Like Eagle Rare is have y'all had it? Y'all have had Eagle Rare?
Everywhere.
Like it is everywhere in Georgia. I've never seen more Eagle Rare than I do in Georgia. So I don't know what pact they signed with Buffalo Trace here in the state of Georgia, but apparently it was an Eagle Rare pact. Blue Note Juke Joints. What do you think? Oh, Four Roses small batch. Good stuff. Have you had some Four Roses stuff?
We've had a bottle of it. That was kind of like when I said 2 years ago trying to get into it. That was the first bottle I think I had.
Okay. I didn't expect this to be just buy all the Buffalo Trace stuff. My thinking coming into this was they would love Buffalo Trace stuff, like most people do that are getting into whiskey, and then we would try to find some alternatives. But instead, we just found all the Buffalo Trace stuff.
I want to help you get whatever you want.
Penelope stuff also really popular. This is my favorite here, just the barrel strength. I mean, obviously some folks like the French oak stave and the toasted. I haven't had the rosé cask, but this one right here is just a really solid bottle. Big fan of Michter's. If you haven't tried any Michter stuff.
Which one would you recommend?
This is a great rye just to kind of get started into ryes. If you're, this is a bourbon-friendly rye. You said you like the Jack Daniel's rye? So you definitely want to try one of those, because that Jack Daniel's rye is a bourbon-friendly rye as well. That's a bourbon-friendly rye. This is just their small batch. The American whiskey, really good as well. Either one of these, I would be happy. The sour mash, I'm not, it's good. I prefer just their normal bourbon. So here, you hold that one and y'all can share.
What's about this?
Master's Pick. I think this is a guy that buys barrels and does blends of them. I don't know the exact story. Somebody in the comments right now is giving me a hard time because I don't know the story.
It's $230. So.
It is expensive. Every time I've seen those, they are expensive, which is why I haven't bought one. Maker's Mark, some benchmark stuff, some limited Woodford stuff, some of their higher end stuff up there in the top. This is where you got your Stag. You get it in their limited release.
No, I walked in. Probably I would have paid a little bit for it, but it was fine because it was a bottle that I really wanted at the time.
Yeah.
And I walked in. He had it for $250. I was like, "Do it for $200. I'll take it from you." He said, "Yep." I said, "I wish I would have asked for lower." That's how fast he responded with that.
On the Stags, for me personally, that 150 is where I want. I'm not saying I haven't paid more. We paid more than that in a video once, but we were buying it for somebody else. So Sonoma triple finish, not a fan of that. I mean, it might be good. I haven't tried it. Just not a fan of what it is for $170. Those Woodford batch proofs are usually really interesting, but 199 bucks, not a price I'm loving. Again, that same Blue Run Rye that I like so much. Calumet stuff, don't get the 8. That 15's decent if you have the 15? Okay. Some bourbon cream right there. You pour that on your ice cream. I remember when these were like impossible to get around here. Like you would have to like stand in line to find, and this has got dust on it. It's been there for a minute. But like whoever looks for bourbon cream, right? Nobody. Pinhook 8 right there. I need that bottle. Do I want to buy that bottle? I was there when they blended these. Okay. So they invited us to their blending. And so to see, like this is their vertical series. And so what they did was they bought a bunch of barrels from MGP all at the same time. And then they're aging them. And every year I think from the time they were 4 years old until now at 8, and they're going to go to 12, they blend like 120 barrels into the release. So you can get a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 when they're available of the same barrels. Obviously a little different blend, but it's going to be a real unique expression when it's done. Like where else can you try the exact same barrels over a stretch like that? Indigo Gin. Some Doc Swinson stuff.
Have you ever had this?
I have not had Pure Kentucky. I think that's a Willet.
Yeah.
It's a Willet product. Yeah. You want to try it? I mean, we can get it if you want it. How much is it?
I don't know, 40 something.
So it's a low-end Willet product. I think that Kentucky Vintage is a Willet product.
They hand bottle this bourbon in very limited quantities.
Okay. Is
One
that because
small batch
people
at
are
a
buying
time.
it in limited quantities, or?
I don't know. It's just that's what it
Because
says.
I guarantee you, if they could sell a bunch of it, they would be bottling it in large quantities.
Maybe they don't have large
In a
quantities
machine.
of it.
Okay, you're right. I'm
I
being
don't know.
pessimistic.
We don't have to, but I just thought it was cool.
I haven't tried it, so grab it. We'll try it.
A lot of stores in Athens.
Are there?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's nice to meet you.
You as well.
Yes, sir.
Any of these ours or just
No, one of them's ours. Get the Kentucky. I'll give them the Michters. All right, headed to Westside. And next is Westside Bottle Shop. Looks like a pretty good store, pretty good size. See what we find. You need a pipe? No, you. I need a pipe? You think I look good with a pipe? Single barrel rice. Jack looking cool. Got a Yellowstone limited release 101 right there. Those are pretty tasty. Knob Creek 18. $199 is, it was pretty pricey bottle. Like that, I don't think that's much over MSRP on that bottle, but I'm not sure exactly what MSRP is on it. It's the best Knob Creek I own, I think, though.
Yeah, I'm ready for that app that you've been talking about to come out.
What was that?
I'm ready for that app. I'm ready for that app to come out. So
Development is we're working on it. We're gonna add a full-time front-end developer here this month, so it should speed up. Summertime, we're gonna have the app. That's gonna be it would be very helpful for me right now to have the app. It's coming. Society of the 1st Infantry Division. Got a Bowman Brothers small batch. Have you tried the Bowman Brothers stuff?
No.
Again, it's Buffalo Trace distillate that they then redistill in Virginia and age it over there. So it's similar, a little different. This right here is Old Fourth Bottle and Bond. That's out of Atlanta. Short Barrel acquired them. I don't know who made the whiskey though, distilled in Indiana, so that's gonna be some of their MGP stuff. I just don't know much about Moonrise. 13th Colonies. Have you had any 13th Colonies stuff?
No, I want to try the double oak, but I've only seen it.
Good luck.
Yeah, I've seen it one place.
This man, I'm over here like, hey, we're trying to round out your cabinet. He's like, I'm going right for the unicorns, baby. Let's do that. If you find some double oak, let's both buy some. Good craft bottle out of Americus, Georgia, if you want to try some of that. I think you'd definitely like that. Now, the double oak is a whole different animal. I mean, that's not on that level. You'll have to come to the house and try my double oak. There's a private barrel Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig Private Barrel. A lot of these, like the barrel proof Elijah Craig, give me that kind of Sharpie note. Like there's just an off note to my palate. And I don't know about on private barrels because I don't buy a lot of them because I'm scared of them. Rebel Cast Strength. We're gonna be dropping one of these, a barrel of these this Saturday.
I just got one with my girlfriend, and I watch YouTube every night. And the only video she puts down her phones and watches is yours.
Really?
And I called her. She said, "Is his wife there?" I was like, "She is." So she might meet us at a store.
Yes, absolutely.
Bryce right here apparently loves Cougars and Sugar Ray. which is Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray. I'm assuming the band, but Bryce sounds like an interesting guy. You going to go with that 13th? All right, let's do it. I think that'd be a good one.
Do you want a bag for this?
Yeah.
I'll get it. Here, Bob.
Sure, okay. Use that NIL money. I don't care. It ain't bother me none. You get that NFL money, then you invite me bourbon hunting. We'll buy the Weller set.
I've always thought about buying that. Just
Have a great day.
I think
now
you'll
I hear
like
you
it.
say good things.
Yeah,
about it, so
I think you'll like it.
it'll definitely help.
I mean, it's not the double oak. I would admit, and the cash strength is better, but their cash strengths you can only get in barrel picks as of right now. So I really like their sour mash, although, that, I think they discontinued that. 2021 was the last year, and it's fantastic. What's our next store, Jill?
We're at the ABC store.
But not that kind of ABC store. ABC package. We did actually
they
get
don't have
into
that.
Athens. These are not the state-run ABC stores. Fun set. Some Watershed Bonded. They do have a lot of wines.
We've never heard of this flavor before. Blueberry muffin.
Blueberry Muffin Sugarland.
They haven't sent us those yet.
They have not. You now you're mad at them? Is that new, or is it old? Has it been there forever and it didn't sell, or?
It's a new logo, so I haven't heard of this one either.
So maybe the new designs came out with some new flavors. This one's 120 proof, 9 years old.
He's also an expert.
I'm not an expert. No, I'm an expert at drink. I consume a lot of alcohol. Not an expert. Ooh, we do. Have you tried the benchmark? I was looking for some of those. If you're into the Buffalo Trace stuff, you got to try that because that's just better Buffalo Trace. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet on this hunt, but
We see it a lot.
yeah, it's definitely. They don't sell it in Alabama that I've seen. I think maybe they've started, but it's in Georgia usually. That's where I grab it. TJ,
Yeah, Mark.
nice to meet you. Martin,
Mark.
Mark, nice to meet you, Mark.
And Avery.
Avery, TJ.
Yeah.
What are y'all looking for?
He was looking for like a sweeter bourbon. We had
Okay.
we had a Blue Note last night
Ooh, okay.
at a show, and it was very good.
That benchmark recommendation is pretty good. It's Buffalo Trace. If you like Buffalo Trace stuff, that's what that is. Michter stuff is a nice, just caramel. You got Rebel stuff that's a wheater, so that's on the sweeter side. I love these Redwood Empires here too.
I just finished the red. Which one's the red pipe dream? I just finished the bottle. It was very good.
It's good stuff.
I haven't tried any of the other ones. Which one would you recommend?
The Lost Monarch. The other one's a rye. Grizzly Beast, there's the bonded. That's probably the one to go for. 100
Yeah, they
proof
had
right
this
there.
too last night, and it was a little too spicy in the old fashioned.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a solid rye.
Blue Note to that was
That's gonna be a
Went back to
jump
Blue Note
for sure.
yeah. So, is this your first trip to Athens?
This is my first time in Athens. Yes, we got invited over here by this gentleman here, and
Mr. Rowley?
decided we would do
How's
a.
it going? Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Is that how we do it here? Okay.
Yeah.
You got a Green River weeded right there, $37.
Is that really good?
Yeah, I want it older. I want it a little more robust, but it's really good where it's at for that price. Definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
I think once they have like older product and I can get a cash strength of it, it's going to be out of this world. But really good start. And of course, Bowman Brothers is Buffalo Trace stuff too. It's nice meeting y'all. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Did you find some wine, Jill? What'd you find?
I found 2 Malbecs.
Uh-oh. Jill's going down on some Malbecs right now. Hill Rock. We get a lot of, like, Jill, the Hill Rock stuff is like the Solera aged out of New York. That's a double cast rye. That's a Solera aged bourbon. These are New York distilleries. Because we were in New York, like downtown New York, where they don't care about local stuff. It's all touristy. You want to get that one for us?
It's a very pretty bottle.
Let's get that one for us. So we have not tried that, and I get it recommended a lot. Let's go to one more store, and then we'll go eat. And then that'll be the end of it.
Best one to go to. Probably Jay's.
Jay's is the store. So we're going to go to Jay's next. After we buy these bottles, we'll catch up with y'all at Jay's, and then we'll go eat. Before we get to that, we missed the allocated case here. Let's see what we find. Anything interesting here. 4 Gates up on the top, and one of those master picks. All sorts of things that are not bourbon that I don't know anything about. Remus Gatsby Reserve. Knob 18 down there. Nothing tempted me here. Let's go to the next one. Couldn't find this one on the map because it's Jay's with a J, not Jay's, J-A-Y, but we did finally locate it, and here we are. Every single person in this town has Rebel's Distillers Collection and or a barrel proof release, single barrel release. There's Rebel everywhere here. Heirloom American whiskey. Green River and some cigars. Got a red line pick. It's Old Carter up there. Some Blantons for $130 if you're interested in that. E522 Larceny. What's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm
Nice to meet you. TJ.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm the bourbon guy, right?
You are the bourbon guy.
I am the bourbon guy.
Okay. So is there anything, we've got a couple of Georgia players here. Unfortunately, they're not Auburn players, but
Okay.
we can't all be perfect.
That's true.
We're trying to find them some stuff. They're really on that Buffalo Trace train,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Like everybody is when they're just getting into whiskey.
Absolutely.
We're trying to find them some interesting stuff that's not Buffalo Trace to round out their liquor cabinet. What have you got?
Well, so if you like Buffalo Trace, what do you like about it? It's because it's certainly not the ability to find it.
Yeah, good one.
It's just something that I like. When I drink it, it's just like, this is good. Like,
Yeah.
there's stuff that I've had that I just hated, but
Okay.
it's just I've had anything Buffalo Trace I've liked. It's just
Fair enough. And yeah, Buffalo Trace is a crowd pleaser. It's really, really good. They do fruity notes really, really well. So we do have Eagle Rare, which is produced by Buffalo Trace. In fact, it's actually Buffalo Trace is 10 years old. But it does have a different flavor profile to Buffalo Trace. I get a little bit more cherry versus like a kind of like the grapiness on Buffalo Trace. But I mean, the Kentucky guys will tell you, like when they're going through the barrels, they'll be like, yep, that tastes like Eagle Rare. Yep, that tastes like Buffalo Trace. Even though they come from the same damn thing, it's just how it develops in the barrel. Have you had anything from Four Roses?
yes.
Okay. Small batch, single barrel, you
I
tried
think
those?
it was a small batch.
Okay. And what do you think about that?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's good, right? A little bit on the spicier side. Maybe try out the single barrel. Now, it's a higher rye bourbon. It's actually about 35% rye versus Buffalo Trace, which is a much lower rye content. But I get a lot of nice sweet and fruit from that. So if you like the fruitiness of Buffalo Trace, I would give that a try. The only thing is about 10 proof points higher. But honestly,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that big a deal for you. But if you do like Buffalo Trace and you can't find it, what's easier to find is this Bowman Brothers right here. This is owned by the Sazerac Company as well. They ship Buffalo Trace distillate from Frankfurt down to Virginia, and then they redistill it through a copper pot still. And honestly, I like it a little bit better. Otherwise, it's the exact same thing. The blend in there is about 6 to 8 years old, which is about what Buffalo Trace is rumored to be. And then it's also about the 90 proof.
I've got enough Buffalo Trace I could drown in it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we're trying to find something not Buffalo Trace that, kind of suits his profile.
Sure.
This is probably my favorite bottle right now from y'all.
Oh,
So y'all
fantastic.
still
You got it?
love it.
Yeah, we only got 2 bottles left, so everyone else loved it too.
I've got 2 at the house. So
Oh, fantastic.
Finished one already.
Okay, so that's crazy. So, because this is completely different whiskey.
know. It's
So this is robust. This is like very spicy oak.
I've gotten into the higher proof stuff that I've started to
Okay,
like it more.
phenomenal. You like Old Soul?
I don't think I've ever had it.
All right, I tasted a few whiskeys, and the Old Soul is a hit, as we figured it would be. Old Soul is out of Jackson, Mississippi. They buy MGP. They age it all in Mississippi. If you watch the channel, if you watch the live streams, literally the Monday before we came here, we just did a live with them and actually picked 3 barrels that'll be released to the Brewzle Club here probably, I think those will be bottled in April, so they'll be released after that. Did we find the Old Soul? Okay. Yeah, you want the single barrel 109. Is that a single? That's a single barrel? Okay. King's Family Distillery. Been having some recommendations on this one here too. Not gonna do that. Maybe the weeded right here. Let's see, what is this? MGP looks like. Who can play some football?
Rock Bowers.
Really? You think he's all right?
It's pretty good. He's fun to have on your team.
He's a
Good
great teammate.
Teammate to have.
Is he still there? Is he like 137 years old? So he left Georgia and he joined the AARP.
That's
You saw him in
Stetson.
street clothes. You
Okay,
might
yes, that's it. Yeah.
They have John Emerald here.
They do have John Emerald here. The single malt and the Purveyor series. Yeah.
I'll trade you the John Emerald.
We did just buy 2 barrels of Detling too.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Did you see we got 1 bottle left?
I did not see it. What is this one?
This is the All Nations Rye, and I'd love to tell you about it because there's a
Okay.
lot to unpack here. So, I know you've been talking about All Nations. This is a deprecated brand. It's done.
Okay.
So this was owned by a beer brewing company called Scofflaw out of Atlanta. And they're still around, but their website's gone. Like all their social media is like defunct. Can't really find too much about it.
Well, they just built a new distillery, though, didn't they? Is it just going to be a different brand?
It's still in Girard County. Yes, it's a different brand. And it's owned by a spirits-related company. I'm not really sure. I don't think they carry spirits, but it is not associated with Scofflaw anymore like this one originally was. But also, this is an 11-year-old rye, okay? And the mash says it's 100% rye, distilled from 100% rye. But it also says distilled in Kentucky. Do some research. You won't find a producer in Kentucky making a mash bill of 100% rye. That would mean they're using enzymes. Doesn't exist. The only one that I could find that maybe does was founded in like 2016. Not enough time to produce an 11-year-old rye whiskey.
Well, I mean, look at the color of it, though. Like 11 years old. Where was it aged? In a cellar?
So I think this got past the TTB, and I think this is Canadian. But it's got a great proof point on it. It's 129.
I mean, look at the label there says they're in Kentucky. It doesn't say the rye's in Kentucky, though, does it? Or does it say on the back it's in Kentucky?
Distilled from 100% rye, distilled in Kentucky. Yeah.
But after that story, I think I'm going to pass on that.
That's unfortunate.
You think it's good?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Now, I will say that the bourbon, the sister bourbon.
The bourbon's good. I like it.
Though they have different bourbon expressions they at least had. There was one that was a 6-year-old barrel proof. Did some digging. That is Wilderness Trail.
Okay.
As a single barrel at full proof. You can't find 6-year-old single barrel Wilderness Trail anymore.
Right.
At full proof. Because they're bottling most of their private barrels at like 4 and 5 years old. You know, I blame the pandemic for that because they really ramped up their contract distilling. Now that Campari owns them, I think that might change a little bit. I think they're going to try and revamp the brand a little bit.
I mean, more money doesn't always mean better whiskey.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
So how do y'all handle allocated stuff here?
We're in the middle of a period of change.
Okay.
So honestly, I like putting out the allocated stuff on the shelf. Like this old cart is allocated. And I hate this stuff, man. It's not bad whiskey. It's just really expensive for what it is.
$300 is a lot.
Yeah. And you know, if you go to the distillery, it's $199. And most places around the state you'll find it's $199. But the thing is, our acquisition cost on that bottle is $215.74. So we got to make money on it.
There's not a lot of whiskey worth $300 if you're going to open it and drink it. If you're collecting it like a Pokemon card, do whatever you want to with it. But if you're going to drink it, $300 is a lot to pay. Anything else here we should be looking at?
The bottled in bond.
There's a bottle in bond from Filibuster. What do you know about them? They're Virginia straight bourbon whiskey. They distill it themselves. I mean, it's bottled in bond, so you would think.
I would think so. I don't know too much about them. I've tried some of their single barrel products. They're pretty good.
Okay.
But, you know, really nothing to write home about. And the price point on it is a little, that's a hefty craft tax. That's a hefty craft tax.
I mean, craft is hard to do if, you know, but y'all let me know in the comments right now, Filibuster, should we have bought that bottle? I think we are budgeted out at this point. We have bought a lot of whiskey already. So I'm going to leave the Kings. I'm going to leave the Filibuster. I know somebody's going to mention that Kings and that we should have bought it. And we probably should. You think we should?
That light whiskey is really good. The wheated is really good, but the light whiskey, you know, a lot of people are going crazy for that Penelope 15-year light whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same stuff in there, except it's a better proof point and it's a single barrel. It's really good. But if you already have some light whiskey at the house, especially with
I'm not like, I don't usually go after light whiskey, but I was picking up that wheated right there.
Oh, the wheat is good. You just missed it. We had a distributor barrel, so selected by the distributor for it, and it tasted like chocolate raspberries, man. It was freaking delicious. We also got like a toasted Amberana rye from them.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that right now already. I'm already passed. I'm not even coming close to that bottle. I don't want it to rub off on me.
Oh, fair enough. You're not a big Amberana guy?
Not at all. I'm gonna take the King's Wheated. We'll take the wheated. Last bottle of the day. Appreciate y'all watching. We will catch up with y'all later. Had a great time here hanging out with some Georgia Bulldogs. Now, was it as fun as you thought it was going to be?
Oh yeah, it was a great time.
We had fun.
Absolutely. We did.
We got some good whiskey. You think you learned anything? Not from me, from the other people we talked to.
Definitely.
So we are out. Had a great time in Athens, Georgia. I appreciate the invite. And War Eagle. To anybody that's listening, I'll mute that. Y'all mute the mic going that way. Just pay attention to mine. Tomorrow we are headed over to Memphis. Got an event there. We are doing our first distillery takeover. Now, this video will not come out before that distillery takeover, so y'all have to let me know how it went, or I'll have to let you know afterwards how it went. But we're trying to do more and more of these distillery takeovers where we have a bunch of folks there, we do some barrel picks, we have a big event, have 200 plus people. So let me know again in the comments which distillery you think we should do a distillery takeover next. So guess we'll catch up with y'all in the next one.